What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So as y'all know, the Volume 9 Lockdown trailer was shown on Tuesday. I have to admit right now, when I heard about this and I actually went and watched that trailer, I am insanely shocked. But what's even more crazy though is the article is going to break it down even more. Now let's go over the entire thing, and as y'all know, we do not waste any time here. So jumping right into this, guys, prepare for Lockdown. 5 crews of up to 3 players are pitted against each other. The Lakeshore Police Department and the relentlessly expanding Lockdown Zone in an all-new PvP VE multiplayer mode. Work together with your crew to complete contracts and break into lockups to loot hot rods, which you can keep if you can extract them by chasing down and owning the extraction truck. There'll be more on the actual truck later in this article. All this madness has been kindly laid on by your not-so-friendly neighborhood racer X. He is looking out for talent, acting as puppet master, putting on events with Pursuit Tech active, controlling when the lockups open, and extraction trucks roll in. Oh, and not to mention disclosing where you can find for the first time in Need for Speed a motorbike. That will give you and your crew the edge to this new way to play Need for Speed. You need to get in, take what's yours, and get out before the whole lakeshore is on lockdown. And yes, guys, by the way, you heard that right. We are legitimately getting a motorcycle in Need for Speed. Personally, I would probably say this is the biggest highlight of the update, at least for me, which probably sounds funny, but I really do love bikes, and the fact we're getting one in Need for Speed, man, it's just so dope. But anyway, though, the next thing, lockups and hot rides. Break into lockups to escape with hot rides, which include Racers X Custom BMW M3 GTR 05, and 15 rides inspired by Most Wanted's Blacklist and some of the hardest to acquire rides from Need for Speed Unbound. Escape the lockdown zone with these vehicles by extracting to keep them and use across free roam PvP and lockdown. Vehicles in the lockups will change up each week. That actually sounds really interesting. I can't wait to see what we actually get. And I do like how it's actually changing up each week as well. The next one though, the extraction play. Claim the extraction truck with your crew before your rivals to safely escape the lockdown zone with your loot and hot rods. Fail to claim it before it leaves and you risk being wrecked by its deadly EMP blast. That was actually something you probably saw in the trailer itself, to where it basically like shut down the whole city, everything went off, and you're probably going to fail at that point. Definitely pretty interesting. The next part of this though, motorbikes. For the first time in Need for Speed, drive the BMW S1000RR 2019 in lockdown mode, and some special PvP slash free roam motorbike playlists, which by the way, I will be touching on more of this in a video when the game does actually have its update, so I can go over this a few more, plus some other topics I definitely wanted to discuss. Do stay tuned for those, but anyway though, bikes will get you into the lockups without the need to pay and are impervious to the zone, so make good use of them. Also, I can't wait to use this bike, which by the way guys, if you're wondering, it is actually the BMW from Need for Speed Heat, so that's pretty dope. The next thing though, new rides. Also, one of these cars has me so dang hyped. 2 new cars are set to bring modern classic JDM flavor to Lakeshore. The Honda Integra Type R and the Subaru Impreza WRX STI have pedigree both on track and on the streets. The Integra, a favorite for anyone seeking a pure experience with its high revving VTEC power, will be nimble enough to get out of any situation during lockdown, whilst the Subaru with its rally pedigree and 4-wheel drive is more than equipped to take on whatever is thrown in its path from lockdown rivals to Lakeshore's finest. And yes, if you guys are wondering, that is going to be a 22B, one of my favorite Subarus, love it. So dang happy to see that car added into Unbound. I really wish we'd actually get Subarus into Motorfest, but at this point, I don't honestly see that happening. The next thing is going to be the zone. The Lakeshore PD is locking down the city with new EMP wall tech that damages cars when they are inside it. Sections of the map will be locked down over the round, but these areas will have the highest loot rewards. Stepping inside will not only make you take damage over time, but you will go straight to heat level 5, so watch out. This is actually going to be interesting, so you will take damage while in that said zone, but you're also going to be rewarded for it. Sounds pretty interesting to me. The next thing though, contracts. There are 4 sets of contracts for players to work through in lockdown sessions, including the blacklist contracts. For these, grab the blacklist inspired vehicles from the lockups and extract them to keep and tick them off the list. Collect every blacklist contract and unlock the original Most Wanted M3 GTR. So I have to admit though, the blacklist thing sounds pretty interesting. You basically head over to the lockup, you have to extract that said vehicle, then you will be able to tick them off the list. And eventually you're going to get the BMW M3 GTR. Sounds pretty dope, I have to admit. The next thing though, the speed pass. So it is going to show a pretty dope photo of the lovely Subaru WRX. I legit cannot wait to drive this car, man. I love the 22B so much. A new volume means a new speed pass, and we got another one packed with customization across 45 tiers of unlock. So if you are wondering, yes, this one is going to be shorter than the other ones with 45 tiers instead of 75. Not really that big of a deal, I have to admit though, because I understand this is the last speed pass, but if you are wondering, a good deal on that is probably going to be the big upgrade collection thing. That is only 15 bucks, giving you every single previous volume. Definitely worth getting that one. After that, though, we have coming in Volume 9 Speed Pass is the new Subaru Impreza WRX STI. With multiple body kits, lock spec customs to gain and lockdown, rap sheet that will grant weekly rewards to rapidly climb up your way in the tiers or unlock new customs. Now, moving over to the next thing on this, though, is PvP and free roam content. There is a wealth of new PvP content for Volume 9, including a first for Need for Speed with a bike-only playlist. But that's just where we start. We also have playlist that celebrates our NFS 30th anniversary, most wanted theme, new Drift Pro playlist, special PvP themed playlists like JDM only drift events. Then we're going to have a total of 14 new playlists, but over 60 routes and event configurations added for Volume 9. The last one is going to be quality of life updates. Now for me though, the fact that we're actually getting a bike only playlist in Need for Speed is hilarious. I am going to be making a video about this compared to Motorfest because honestly it's pretty dang frustrating how we're actually getting other playlists in Need for Speed Unbound before something like Motorfest, man. Like what? It legit makes no sense. But also 14 new playlists and 60 routes, bro. That's crazy. That's so many different events. Can't wait to jump in. It is then going to say the premium speed pass, guys. It has some stuff that you can get in there, like some of the unlocks. I will read through this here quick though and show some of the photos of it in the background as well, so you guys can check it out. But the Volume 9 Premium Speed Pass immediately grants the new fully customizable Honda Integra Type R 98 and opens up access to its 3 body kits plus the 2 lockdown spec customs of the new Volume 9 cars. And NFS Legend Subaru BRZ 2014, there's also a special 30th anniversary BMW M3 GTR custom up for grabs if you work your way to the end of the pass. Sounds pretty dope. You'll also gain access to unlocking unique customization options, including manufacturer projections, 30-year Need for Speed inspired customizations, premium graffiti signature VFX, new rims, license plates, and more across 30 content tiers. Sounds pretty dope, man. I had a feeling this one was going to be a tad smaller with like the last update here in Need for Speed Unbound, which I'm probably going to touch on that in a separate video. But guys, that is going to do it for the article here. It really does make me so dang excited. I have to admit right now, one of the biggest things I can't wait for is probably going to be the motorcycle. Like, I do understand you can argue that, well, it's only one bike block. Well, here's the thing. We're legit getting a motorcycle in Unbound, man. I can't wait to see how this thing rides. And it seems like it's going to be insanely fun to use and ride around Unbound's map with. Definitely looking forward to it. But I have to say, though, apparently, again, the game is going to have around 30 developers working on it, which I do understand that's not the biggest number. But look at the updates we're actually getting. Like, yeah, I could probably say the Hot Pursuit update was not all that great. But it does look like the Lockdown update is going to make up for it, man. There's a lot of stuff here. I'm definitely excited to mess around with the new playlist, the new PvP modes. I will most likely be testing a lot of this stuff out, guys, so do stay tuned for it. Overall, though, do let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. I do feel like having 15 rides inspired by the most wanted blacklist is also pretty dope, and I do feel like having that big truck with like the extraction thing is going to be so interesting. The fact that you're actually going to have a closed zone there, the motorcycle's going to be useful. I can see this update being pretty dang fun. But again, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below. And by the way, once again, stay tuned for lots of videos coming next week after the update does drop. And if you are wondering though, the new update is coming out on November 26th, which is going to be the upcoming Tuesday. So it's going to be a lot closer than we actually think. But again, guys, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments below.